I'm gonna climb in the lazarette.
Yeah, this is definitely.
This isn't gonna happen the way we're trying to do.
Feels so good to be back.
We're giving our boat a soul again.
It feels like a boat.
Actually, it's electrical. It is.
A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring our pre-launch preparations. We are Brett and Jade Evans. We decided to go for our dreams and purchase this wrecked sailboat. We're working hard to restore it and to document the journey with new episodes every week. Subscribe and join us on our greatest expedition yet. I am going to be getting the through hole in the galley out. My friends Dana and Lou from the YouTube channel Wild We Roam are coming down to help me with doing that. So friendly. Hi.
Hello, I'm Dana, and my husband Lou is now filming, and we're here to help.
We're friends. This is the second time we've hung out and I'm putting them to work.
We're both friends. That's how it works, you know?
Okay, so we need to take the through hole and seacock out. Dana's gonna hold it from underneath and I'm gonna use, this is my, once when I was a kid, my mom chased one of my sister's boyfriends down the street with a very similar monkey wrench. We're gonna take out the through hole. Last time I tried to do this, I'm pretty sure I threw out my back. So we're gonna hope that doesn't happen again.
Good job, Dana.
Thanks, babe.
Is it just spinning for you?
Yeah.
Okay, update. My legs are stronger than Dana's arms, so we're gonna go find a pipe or something so she has a little more leverage because this isn't gonna happen the way we're trying to do it.
So the issue is that when she's kicking it with her foot, I'm having a hard time holding it from not moving. So I think we need to find something that can either hold it more, like with more leverage, or you could try it too. The nice thing though is you can talk through it. You can hear.
It's like those things at the playground where you can talk through the
Yeah, 100%.
Totally
Yeah, and it's very convenient, you know?
Okay, yeah, just tell me when.
All right, when?
There is this curious phenomenon where the most mundane and easy projects are actually the most difficult.
One sec. Ready?
And accounting for their apparent simplicity, these projects usually wind up on a very short list of life's most frustrating moments. I can't get the wrench off.
We're getting there.
There was a time when I viewed this phenomenon as a DIY initiation process, but I've since decided that it's actually a constant culling intended to take down the weak. Maybe I'll help Dana and you can try this. Or at least come see if you have any fresh ideas. I can go in here. Oh. Oh my god.
No?
I'm gonna need a chiropractor for this.
So you're cranking on it there?
Yeah, so basically we need these threads to come loose.
Ready, Lou? Yeah, this is definitely.
I'm like so in the way. It might just help the threads loosen.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's back to back. Shoot, did I already lose his cap?
Oh, here.
Oh, thanks. Really though?
Oh my god, it's
Do you feel like you swear more now that you own a boat?
100%.
Because I totally do.
Oh my goodness. You know what? And maybe we should have Lou do this. Is the hardest job.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Lou, let's switch.
How many different combinations can I try?
All right, 3, 2, 1. I have an idea. Someone just goes like this here.
Yeah.
And just holds this at the right height.
I need a different wrench, and the bilge is wet. Oh no, it's locked. Okay, just kidding, I can't get through it. Are you ready, Dana? Is it working? Is it working? I might not have a time. The grid isn't completely set up, the epoxy, because it's been kind of like cold. But I stepped on it in my socks this morning. So every time I step over it, I have to step on my sock residue. I mean, you guys probably already knew it would end this way, but grinder's out. We're done with this. I'm just gonna cut it to pieces and we're gonna replace it. I'm pretty sure it needs to be replaced anyway. Tried to salvage it. Can't salvage everything on a salvage boat. Let's do it. It's more fun anyway. A little hot and sharp over here. I can't believe this took the whole morning.
There we go. Woohoo! Yes, look at that. Hello, Lou. Wow. What an effort.
What an effort.
It's like, what, 3 hours later? And this thing is off.
I feel like simple things are never simple on a boat.
No, but it's like, it's nice to know that this is actually going to be brand new and you can trust it and...
Thanks for looking on the bright side for
You
me,
know, there
Anna.
you go.
Thanks.
It's impressive. This thing was really on there.
There you go.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Okay.
So, tell us what happened.
Basically, how the seacock works is that, well, how the through hole works is that there's this hex on the inside. So we were using this gigantic bolt into said hex, basically as a big screwdriver to hold it in place while we put the wrench on here. And that should have unscrewed it. These are the threads right here that were just totally seized. We eventually decided it was time to cut it because if you can see in here, the hex in here started to strip. I might be able to save the seacock, but the through hole definitely needs to be replaced now.
It's a goner.
If any of you guys have any good recommendations for how to unseize seized threads, that would be helpful for somebody other than me because I already cut it up with a grinder. But people might benefit, or I might benefit in the future, so comment if you know the way of the seized threads. But in the meantime, thanks, Dana.
Of course,
Thanks,
it was
Lou.
our pleasure. It's fun to be a part of somebody else's boat problems instead of our own.
Dana and Lou have quickly become some of my favorite friends. They are the sort of people that just being around them kind of lifts your soul. You know what I'm talking about. I've really loved spending hours and hours just laughing about the many parallels in our life stories. All the way back to setting our first goal of sailing the world, to our van life chapters, and then health challenges, and buying project boats that we can smother with all our love. They've really figured this whole thing out. From achieving and sustaining their dream, to creating stunning videos, to inspiring everyone. And most importantly, when things get really hard, they find a way to keep going. I know most of you already know them and watch their channel, and I'm so glad for that because I think people really deserve the joy that they're putting out into the world, especially these days. They've sort of taken me under their wing as a kind of boat life YouTube little sister. They are the ones that convinced us that switching our web hosting over to Squarespace and rebuilding our whole website would be worth it. They are self-published authors that wrote an ebook titled Live Creatively and managed to sell enough copies that they could finally realize their dream and buy a beautiful 50-year-old Halber Grassi that they named Penelope. They had only good things to say about their experience with Squarespace, so we decided to give it a go, and now Squarespace has chosen to sponsor our videos, which is just another awesome example of how Dana and Lou have helped us to make our own dreams a more sustainable reality. If you're thinking of starting a blog or web store, then head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/ExpeditionEvans to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Since we cut the through hole, we obviously need to get a new one. And I decided to go ahead and get a new seacock as well. Looking at our seacock, it's actually in really good shape, but I decided that I would rather just replace it now and not have to worry about it later, since we are going to have the boat for hopefully a very long time. I'll clean this one up still and we'll keep it as a remote island emergency spare. All right, to West Marine. I ordered the through hole parts. We're going to have to wait for them to come in. And in the meantime, I'm going to paint the stand squares. Dave, do you guys remember Dave? Dave's the best. He came and he helped me with the stands so that my boat wouldn't fall over. Thank you, Dave. And now they are available for painting. We have some of this old ablative paint that needs to be sanded off so that we can paint. So I'm just gonna sand that really quick. I cannibalized the bimini for some through-hole removing leverage, but as you can remember, that didn't actually end up working. So now I just get to spend my afternoon putting it all back together, which proved to be a little bit more challenging than I was expecting. Look at you. You're so cute. I'm in between layers of epoxy
While I wait for it to set up to the thumbprint stage, which means that I can do the second coat, I'm gonna climb in the lazarette and reattach the rudder assembly and the autopilot, because that is one of the biggest things on my list that I'm stressing about. So if I do it now, then that saves me the next little while of stress, because it'll be done. Apparently, I left a bit of myself back here last time I was here. Here's the thing, I've never actually seen it together. Brett came in here and he just took it all apart, and I have no idea. But all of the pieces are here, and all the tools needed for said pieces are here. So I think that we can figure it out. Otherwise, we'll ask for help, but hopefully, I think it should be pretty simple. For starters, I gotta move the rudder. Dave moved the stand forward like that so that we could get to the square to paint. So now the rudder can't go to a completely neutral position. We're gonna go as neutral as we can. See if we can get it in order, and then I need to jack it up a little bit. So far so good, super easy going right now. Getting the rudder assembly together. Looks great, but I'm gonna go get a socket before I cinch that down. All good. Awesome. Now I can see if it works. I'll have to pull all those nuts off and replace the washers that I think are in here somewhere, but they're missing forever. The borrowers got them. So they'll need new washers, but for now it's installed. That's good. Next project.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the
Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Here, Dingo, I'll get you down.
As you can tell, we have all missed Brett a lot while he was gone on his long work trip, and we are thrilled to have him back for all of the boat projects and just, you know, life in general.
We're only a couple days away from launching. We need to finish up some little projects first, get some stuff drilled out, get some stuff cleaned. I think we're ready.
I'm not sure that installing is the right word, but basically we're installing limber holes into the bottom of the grid to allow water to flow from anywhere in the boat down to the center of the boat, so then it can flow to the bilge pump and get pumped back out of the boat.
Just a phase, I tell myself that we'll be okay. So hold on to me, baby, hold on.
We just finished, well, if it's ever finished, wiping down the wires to get that all ready for reassembly. Next thing is to wipe down all of these wires, the bilge wires that run across to the other side of the boat. The goal is to get this all cleaned up so that we can get ready to install this bilge pump and get the floorboards down. Life is gonna be a lot. We're gonna trip less, I think, once the floorboards are down. Aww. So that's the goal for tonight. I just want to put the mask on to keep my face warm. It's a little bit chilly.
I should let it be, but I'm gonna dive into you. And maybe I tried, but what can I do? And it will be alright, so let me.
We're giving our boat a soul again. All of our floorboards are in here, but they are covered in white. We're going to glove up, mask up, protect ourselves, and then we're gonna like wipe them as we bring them out. So, because we already cleaned out there. So hopefully we'll keep the dust from accumulating out here again. We've got 2 of the floorboards down, 2 of the big ones. But it looks like to get to the rest of them, we have to take a lot of stuff out.
Hello.
We did it.
And you know what's nice? Is before, when we were doing the tour video, it was like way higher here than here.
It's not anymore.
It's not anymore. You can feel when you walk from here to here, it's like curved.
Good. We can...
So we put them all in, but we have to take them all back out tomorrow because we need to put the bilge pump in, we need to put the wire harness in, we need to do whatever. But our goal was to get these in tonight.
This is kind of like a big question mark. Will they fit?
We figured they would maybe fit.
We knew they would fit. It just depended on how much we had to make them. But that was fine. It feels like a boat. It sounds like a boat.
But it doesn't squeak.
You're right. You know how when you go into an empty house, like totally empty, you just purchased or you just rented it and there's no furniture and you just want to do cartwheels all over the carpet? Just trying to like portray that emotion to you guys. Excuse me.
Made it fit better.
Did you get it?
Yep. What did we do to make it not squeak? It's a very big, exciting day. I need to hook up the bilge pump the rest of the way, do the through holes. I need to drill one of them out, clean the 2 in the front out, then reinstall those. Those are the sensors, the AC and the galley drain. And then honestly, that's really all we have to do before we can go in the water. Obviously, there's a lot of things I want to do before we go in the water, but that's kind of the bare minimum that we have to get done. And then the rest of it we can do while we're in the water.
I'm warming up. My apple turnover. We're not cut out for cold weather at all. Totally worth it.
Straight through my heart, through my
We are planning on getting lifted up in the slings today so we can get the bottom of the keel cleaned off. I think it's gonna get blasted, and then we can get some barrier coat and bottom paint on it. It's a pretty warm day, so I think it's gonna work. But before that happens, we got some other projects we're gonna do. They'll hold us in slings. I think we'll stay in the slings over the weekend. And then fingers crossed, we'll have everything done that we need to so that we can actually get launched probably on Monday.
I wanna take you out. Show you what I'm all about.
Beautiful eye. This is the through hole for the AC.
I didn't figure it was correct to climb your stairs.
How's it going?
New through hole. So this is the through hole for the AC and it's gonna go right here. And we're gonna do it right now.
We've got our new through holes. We need to lay some 5200 here. We'll put it in from the bottom, hold it, we'll clamp it down, and we'll let that sit before we put on any of the valves or anything. This one goes to the galley strain. We decided to just replace it with the kind of basically the original hardware that was there, but changing it because some of the hardware was brass, some was bronze, so we're changing it all over to bronze. We aren't upgrading them necessarily this go around. We probably will eventually, but right now we are just replacing it with better hardware.
Does it feel good to work on the boat again?
It feels so good to be back.
Okay, I need you up there.
Just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Just tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire.
One of the last things that we need to do before we can put the boat in the water is to prepare the bottom of the keel. So we're moving the boat over to where we can blast the bottom. This time we're using a wet media with some chemical in the water that should hopefully help the bottom from rusting before we can put the barrier coat on it.
After months on the hard, pouring everything we are into this boat, it's off the ground, and it isn't going to touch land again for a long, long time. To call it surreal would be an injustice to the moment.
Like technical difficulty, all set up, all ready to go, but for whatever reason the valve isn't opening, so no air's coming out, or media, or anything.
What's the deal, Dave? Would it be a technical difficulty or a mechanical difficulty?
It's technically mechanical. Actually, it's electrical. It is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, probably has it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you join us next time for the most monumental day of this whole refit.
This is crazy.
See you then.
I spent like 3 hours in your dad's kitchen with Lilo.
What was there?
I'm about to fall asleep.
I'm about to leave you here.